Do you want to put your Social Security in the hands of Ted Cruz and Marjorie Taylor Greene? I mean it.
So to my surprise, Joe Biden and the White House are continuing to kick more ass. Now, this is not something that I really expected. I mean, if you've watched my coverage of Biden this year, it's largely been negative because of many broken promises, his obvious weakness towards Republicans, unwilling to fight them. But I did a video on Thursday discussing how Joe Biden strikes back, using examples of how he's fighting back against criticisms of his plan to cancel some student debt, and actually arguing from a working class perspective. So doing some, fantastic messaging here on the issue of student loan cancellation. So I called it Joe Biden strikes back. Well, that day, more happened that I would have included in that video had had it happened earlier. So let me show you just what the hell is going on, because that same day, Joe Biden held a rally. I'm going to get to some clips from that rally and also the White House. Let's get to the White House right now, because this is wonderful. I don't think ever liked a tweet from the White House, but I think I'll like this one. If I didn't already, I already did, because this is amazing. So the White House here pointing out, and through a number of tweets, this is a long thread, of conservatives criticizing the idea of student loan debt cancellation. Meanwhile, these same individuals had their PPP loans forgiven. So the White House here tweeting out, and I covered a lot of this in my video on Biden here, but here they are tweeting out. Taylor Greene, who's complaining about this debt being forgiven. Taylor Greene had $183,504 in PPP loans forgiven. And they go on here. Buchanan, $2.3 million in PPP loans forgiven. Here he is complaining about student loan debt cancellation. Mullen, $1.4 million forgiven. Again, complaining about student loan debt cancellation. Kevin Hearn, over $1 million in PPP loans forgiven. So this is amazing to see. You never, ever see Democrats fight like this. So to see the official White House account openly showcase the obvious hypocrisy going on here is incredible messaging. And I think this will help them politically going forward if they continue this kind of fight, not just on Twitter, but generally. If the administration fights like this and showcases the obvious hypocrisy going on here and continues pushing popular policies, maybe next, decriminalize cannabis, then you will see, continued support or continued increases in their approval rating. And as I discussed in my video on Thursday, Biden's approval rating has been ticking up the more he's been on the offensive compared to where he has been largely this past year. But I want to show you just what is likely behind the White House here doing this. And that's this person here, Meghan Coyne, the voice of New Jersey, is headed to the White House. So she apparently runs the White House social media account. And that's significant because this is the person who ran this very popular New Jersey account, replying here to someone who said, "Who let New Jersey have Twitter?" And she replied, "Your mom." So and this says almost 500,000 likes. So, hiring someone who knows how to use Twitter was a good move by the White House. Now, in terms of Biden, so we will get to some clips from Joe Biden. So this is having to do with his rally. So Biden stepped onto the campaign trail with a rally in Rockville, Maryland, hosted by the Democratic National Committee. The event comes as once dreary prospects for Democrats appear to be improving in the upcoming midterm elections. He used the opportunity to drive home the danger of letting Trumpism take back control of the country. And I'm going to get to another insane criticism of something Biden said during this rally. But first, I'm going to show you a series of clips here of just his attitude, his demeanor, his actual fight that he showcased during this rally.
You and 81 million Americans voted to save our democracy. That's why Donald Trump isn't just a former president. He is a defeated former president. We also included a provision that would have allowed anyone with diabetes, including those kids and their families, that should get charged somewhere between $600 and $1,000 a month. How would you feel like being a parent, looking at your kid and knowing you didn't have the insurance, and knowing if they did not get that insulin, they may die. There's thousands of people in America going through that. And these Republicans ripped that out of the bill, but we're coming back. The court in its opinion used the phrase that women have a right to vote and change this. Well, guess what? MAGA Republicans don't have a clue about the power of women. Let me tell you something. They are about to find out. Oh yeah. Do you want to put your Social Security in the hands of Ted Cruz and Marjorie Taylor Greene? I mean it.
I don't know how to how to react to that, because who is this guy? Where is this Joe Biden been this entire time? This is how he should have been acting for his entire administration, not just on the campaign trail in the midterms. This is the approach he should always be taking. Be on the offense. Actually fight Republicans. Show some emotion, some anger. I am shocked, absolutely shocked at how solid that was. So just on his point on insulin, for example, of course, everything said there was exactly right. Republicans blocked a $35 cap on the price of insulin. I think I covered this in a video just on this story. But yes, this is true. This is what they did. Democrats, as you see there, should be running on this. Run on the fact that Roe was overturned. I think a lot of people are already motivated to go out and vote because of that. And also run on what has been accomplished, even though I've been very critical of Biden. There's been, nowhere near what he promised in his agenda. And he could have fought a lot harder for Build Back Better. But putting that aside, student debt cancellation is a massively popular issue. I covered the details of that yesterday. Almost even so, I think it's like 45% of Republicans even support it. So a majority of independents, of course, majority Democrats, and almost half of Republicans support at least some student debt cancellation. And more than half of people who don't even have any student debt, never had student debt, support at least some student debt cancellation. It is a very popular issue. So if you run on what you've actually done, if you run on how horrible Republicans are, it's going to be, a massive boost for you. And if you want to see the list of the assholes that voted against this, here are the 43 Republicans. I'm not going to read through it, but you can find this list at Newsweek here. And, pause the video, see if you're garbage senators in this list. Also worth pointing out here, during that rally, Biden slammed semi-fascism in the GOP as he rallies for Democrats. So, nothing at all wrong with this. In fact, this is maybe too kind. But this guy came out, Shadi Hamid, said, "This is not a good look for Biden. To say that MAGA-ism is semi-fascism is effectively to say that tens of millions of Americans are semi-fascist." And also, what exactly is semi-fascism? It's not even a thing. What is wrong with pointing facts out? You should be a lot more concerned with this. Almost 1 in 3 of Republicans say violence may be necessary to save, quote unquote, save the U.S. Biden simply pointing this out in the kindest way possible, calling it semi-fascism. What is wrong with this? Like, the amount of garbage and lies and bullshit that Republicans put out there about, crazy Marxist, socialist, communist Democrats, Biden pointing to a fact and being almost too soft about it, how is that worthy of any criticism at all? So if you go through this, it really is disgusting. Like, these people, among Americans who believe the election was stolen from Trump, which it was not, 39% believe violence may be required. A lot more people should be ringing the alarm bells about this, including sitting politicians. But it's insane that anybody would criticize that. And like this idea that, if you're kind to the fascists, then they'll see how nice you are and then they'll like you. Like, it is so completely stupid. And that's largely been Biden's strategy, is being kind to the right. I mean, he still compliments Mitch McConnell, calling him an honorable man. He's a man of his word. He's a nice guy. He's my friend. Meanwhile, like he literally stole at least one Supreme Court seat from the Democrats. So having this kind of kind approach to the right is not going to benefit anybody, and just helps lead everyone towards fascism. You actually have to be willing to fight these people and fight them rhetorically. And this from Biden really is the bare minimum. So it's, the beginning here. It's good to see. I hope there is more of it. But at the same time, I am kind of surprised that there is any of it, that he's actually fighting, showing a willingness here to call out the fascists where he sees them, while also defending excellent moves like canceling student loan debt. Biden, he has to continue this strategy. And if they show this and continue this, not just in the midterms, but past the midterms and into the future, then the Democratic Party can actually see some real transformation and has the potential to be a fighter for the working class, assuming some people in leadership get replaced first.